All right, Listly. Are you aware of Listly? Well, if not, you're about to become aware of it. It's a great tool you can use for creating link bait that will help you create award links and pages that you can get links from. And like this campaign is a lot like the award list campaign I went over in the previous video with some major differences. I think it's easier to create an award list when you use Listly, and I'll show you how I use it. It's very similar to the award list campaign, but the only difference is you're going to target in this list authors instead of bloggers. You can certainly target bloggers too, but here in this one, I'm going to particularly show you how to go after authors and how we use it in our agency. So you're targeting authors of books, not bloggers. Also, this just like the award list campaign, usually good for a dozen links or so. The dozen links coming in from authors in your industry, that's going to be good for your website, your client's website. Like the awards list, you're going to be leaning on the leverage of the author's vanity and their need to market their book. Because one of the first things that authors find out after they write their book, and I found this out in my own book, is that as soon as you're done writing a book, you have to start marketing your book. You have to start selling your book. Otherwise, all the work you put into creating the book is for nothing. That's why I like to appeal to authors because they need the marketing help. For sure, they need the marketing help. Okay, so like the other campaign, this is a link bait and outreach tactic. So you absolutely have to create a piece of content before you can reach out and ask for the links. But I want to say too that I learned this from Derek Awaziek. And I don't know if I'm pronouncing your last name right, Derek. I talked to you so many times, but we talk link building all the time, and he laid this one down for me, and it's a really good strategy, and I like it a lot. But I have to give props to Derek. Okay, so here's the instructions on what to do to set up a Listly award campaign. First of all, what you do is pull a list of 100 Kindle books from a specific niche in your industry. And I'm going to use the fishing example again. If you have a bait and tackle shop, you're going to want to pull up 100 Kindle books from saltwater fishermen. You're going to want to pull up 100 Kindle books in another campaign on freshwater fishermen, on lake fishermen, on river fishermen, on trout stream fishermen, on there's just a myriad of the number of awards that you could do and award campaigns that you can do. And if you're getting a dozen links from each of them, well, you're going to be in a really good position. Now, Amazon Kindle Unlimited is something I recommend you do. And I recommend that you go after and search these authors because for the most part, if they have an unlimited book, and that means that you can get like 10 downloads at a time for like $10 a month. So you don't have to pay for the book. You just have to pay for the service. And if you have to go through 50 books a month, you're only paying $10 for it. And so I want to say that if they have an Amazon Kindle Unlimited book, then they're going to need the marketing help, and they're going to be a very good target for you for this type of campaign. What you do is similar to the award list campaign. Instead of finding bloggers, you're going to once you find your list of books, you're going to pull the authors' names, and then you're going to find what their websites are and their contact information. So let me get into that a little bit. I'm going to open up Amazon. All right, and let's just put in link building. Let's pull up some link building books. Grr. I'm still at number 3. Adam Clark, I serve you notice. I'm coming after you. You're in my spot. I don't care about number 1. That's Eric Ward. He deserves number 1. His book is great. This book, on the other hand, well, I don't know. I haven't read it. I don't know if I've read it or not. But it's a Kindle Unlimited. It'd certainly be one worth targeting. All right, now, so let's say I want to do the top Listly link building books, and I want to put an award for that. All right, so basically I have the books, right? So now let's say I have to find the authors. So I'm going to search Adam Clark, and it's not very hard to do this. God, maybe I'll just Google it. It's not like it's hard. And I just Google the author's name, and I'm pretty sure it's not this guy. He died in 1832, so we're going to have to look further. And another thing you could do too is come back and get the title of the book. So SEO 2018. Let's see if we can find his website that he's selling this from. Because there's the Amazon listing. Here's a website. Is this his book? Well, there's his book right there, but is this an affiliate selling it? Let's find out. It could be. Where's that going to take us? Buy it now on Amazon. And I have no idea if this is an affiliate site, and it could be. So I'm not really grooving on this. I'm not thinking this is a site, so I'm going to go back. It's not going to do me any good to find an affiliate site, right? I'm not liking that one either. All right, so let's get in on the site. On the Amazon and listing and see if we can find any more information on the author. Usually you can find more information on the author, but by just clicking his name. You can find the other books they've done. All right, so it looks like, all right, well, let's go back. Let's try to find it. I really want to know where he's selling the site from, because I know he's getting his sales from off Amazon. He's getting far too many. I was outranking him, and he was getting more sales than I was by far. All right, so Adam Clark. Let's try just Adam Clark SEO and see what that does. Amazon, LinkedIn. Adam Joshua Clark. Did we find him on LinkedIn? He's a professional webmaster. And if we found him on LinkedIn, that's good news, because now we could find his website from here. Is this it? It certainly is. Well, Joshua. Adam Joshua Clark. Let's open up a bunch of pages. Can't be reached. And welcome to Life of Link Building, right? But it looks like he hasn't updated anything in a long time. All right, so now is this the guy or not? I have no idea. So what I'm going to do is move on to the next one. And I'm going to go and let's find Nancy. Let's see if Nancy's any easier to find. Well, now see what happens? Sometimes they fill out an author page. Well, let me move this over so you can see. This author page, gold. Now I don't have to go look for her site. They just listed it right there. Adam Clark. You learn something from her. Watch the site not come up. All right, it came up. Now here's her website. So now I would include this book in with my list because she has a website. So now I put her website on a spreadsheet, and I know her book's going to make it. And then I go on to the next book, and I get as many books as I can find. Now, I'm going to show you, I'm not going to go through and do that with every book because it's kind of boring. And if I'm going to do that, I might as well do it for a client, right? But I'm going to show you how to create a list once you get your list of books. And I like to use Kindle books. So what I'm going to do, well, I'll get to that in a minute. All right, so once you've done all that, and you put the author's names, and you have all the books you could find, and you have all the URLs, you're going to cull down your list. And really, I say 50, but it could be even less than that. What you're going to do is eliminate the authors let me fix this, without a website, because obviously you're doing this for link building, right? You can't get a link from somebody that doesn't have a website. Or you're gonna eliminate the ones you can't find the contact information for. There's no sense adding them. You're not gonna get anything from them. Also, you want to make sure that you delete any major published books from the list. I think we were doing one the other week. I think it was a couple weeks ago, and it was for children's books. And we pulled up a bunch of Dr. Seuss books, and it's like, well, Dr. Seuss isn't even alive. We're not going to be able to get a link from Dr. Seuss. And plus, Dr. Seuss isn't going to care about making the award list, right? So you have to make sure that you get rid of the the authors with major publishers, so they have a contract, and they're not even really doing their own book marketing, and they probably don't even care. They probably got paid their advance and maybe a little extra, and they moved on. But if somebody has self-published, they're going to care about marketing that book, because to them that's their way out. They wrote the book for a main reason, to get out of their current predicament, whatever they're doing. Maybe they don't like their job, maybe they wanted to write a book their whole lives and they finally did, but now nobody's buying it, and you're going to come in and you're going to help them make sales. And that's why I say choose mid-tier and lower tier prospects, just like on the award list, because these are the authors who need the help, and you're going to offer them help. Okay, so how are you going to offer them help? But first, you're going to create the list on Listly. And what I did is I signed up for a pro account, then I add books to the list, and I'm just going to create one. And let me go over to, here we go. I'm going to make a list. I'm going to name this book Best Link Building. I'm going to delete it right afterwards, but Best Linking Books Ever. And I would write something like, if you're looking to build links that generate revenue for your business, these are the ones you need to read. Let me know which ones you plan on reading in 2018 by voting for them. All right. And you tag your list. We don't want it private. Obviously, private list isn't going to do us any good. Once I've done that, I'm going to, I got to scroll down a little bit. Then I'm going to add items. So the list is created. Now we start adding items. Now there's a lot of different ways to do this, but I only use one way. And what I do is I click the Amazon product. Then I come over here to Amazon and I grab the URL. And then let me go back to the right place. Where am I at? This it? Yep. And then I paste the URL in there. And the book image comes up. And then for the description, usually I just take one of these paragraphs, and I'll probably take this one. whatever kind of describes it. Oh, there's my website. You don't need to see that. All right. Then what I do is I save that, and I go through and I add all the lists. When I'm done, I'm going to have a list. I'll do one more. Let's add my book. All right. So then by this time you have your list already called. You're going right down your list. You know who you want to get. And I say, okay, I'm going to add another book. And I'm going to use a product. And there's my site. My book comes up rather. And then I'm going to put that one there. And then I will paste that there. And then I will save it. Now, when I'm done saving it, and what's going to happen is there's a list. And it could be 12, it could be 15. How big is the list? Well, that's going to depend on how far you culled your list down to. All right. Now, when I'm done with this, I could take me to Listly. They're telling me to add at least 5. There's a couple more things you should do. Number one, I want you to see this. You need to upload a banner. And I would put the title. I would put maybe the title of your list in there and put something really attractive. But don't leave it stock like that, because you really want to make it look like it's something that they're getting of benefit. All right, another thing what you do is once you have this list created, you need to grab the embed code, because that's how you're going to add it to your list. And to embed lists, you just grab that code right there and get the code, which, let me go back because you couldn't see that. All right, let's do this again. I hit embed list. Then I need to move this down so you can see what I'm doing. And then I hit get code. Then all I have to do is, if I'm on WordPress, I highly recommend that you use the Listly WordPress plugin, because if you have a lot of books, well, let me move it up so you can see it. So if I'm on a WordPress site, I'm definitely going to download this Listly WordPress plugin and upload it and install it. And then all I have to do is put this ID in there. And then it really makes it look a lot more attractive. If you have a lot of books on your list, it scrolls, it looks better. But depending on what type of site you're running, you grab your code. And what that'll do is that will take your list and put it, your Listly list, and make it show up right there on your website. All right, on the post that you're about to create. All right, so you copy and paste the summaries of each of the books. Also, you create the image. You have all your books added to the list at this point. Now what we're going to do is you have to create the awards list on your blog. And this is similar to the awards list that I showed you in the other video. You write a catchy headline. If it's about parenting and it's about toddlers, it could be the best books to help your toddlers sail through their terrible twos. And just something catchy. Write an introduction to it. And an introduction doesn't have to be a lot. Maybe a couple paragraphs. Share why you created this list, why you put it together, what criteria you used in selecting the books. And you don't have to say, because I was looking to get links and I needed some link bait to get links, obviously. But you'll say, hey, here's some great books on how to fly fish in Michigan rivers, in trout streams. It's a great book. I highly recommend you get out in the woods and do some trout fishing this summer. And if you do, you're going to need some good books. So I recommend you read at least a few of these before you go out. And while you're here, why don't you go down and vote on the ones that you've read already or that you plan on reading this year. And what Listly gives you the opportunity for people to come in and vote and put a thumbs up for their favorite book. And that's going to come in big in a little bit, and I'll tell you why. All right, so include a call to action too in the summary you write. Tell them that, invite your readers to vote on which of the books they plan on reading this year. Then once you have that written, you embed your Listly code. So now that list is going to show up on your post. And then you write a short summary to put under the list. and include your call to action again, which is to get them to vote. You want people hitting the page, voting on the books, and that's the whole premise behind using this Listly, because they give you a voting mechanism. So that's how you create the list, and it's really not hard at that point. You just have to just write a little summary and embed the list. And you'll want to put a good header image too on your Listly post. You want it to look attractive. All right, there's a couple of things that you can do at this stage. This is an optional step, but I recommend you do it. Once you have your list culled, since all these books were on Kindle Unlimited, it's not going to cost you money to read them all. I recommend that you go and read the books of the authors who reply to your email once you reach out to them. In fact, let's change that. Read the books. Read the books. So this is optional. First of all, what you do is you read the books that you add to your list, and you can speed read, read the first sentence of every paragraph and the last sentence of every paragraph. Read the table of contents, get a real good feel for the book. Read the whole thing if you have time. Then go leave a review of the book on Amazon. I like that, because what you do then is you leave that review. Now, there's a good chance that a Kindle Unlimited author is going to notice when you leave a positive 5-star review, because they don't get a lot of reviews. Even if they sold 1,000 sales a week, they'd probably only get one review every 2 weeks, as people just don't leave reviews. And when you leave a review for them on one of these books, it sets you apart from everybody else, and they'll know who you are. And since you already have their contact information, what you'll do is take a screenshot of your review and write the first email to the author, letting them know that how much you enjoyed the book and that you left a review, and here's a screenshot of my review. All right, good so far? Now, once you've done that, you can go into the next step, which is to actually reach out to the authors to let them know they made your awards list. And this is a lot like the awards campaign I went through. So at this point, if you've already emailed the author once, giving them your review and letting them know how much you liked the book or how much you liked her book, then you're going to reach back out to her and say, hey, good news. I got congratulations. You made our staff voted you on. We added you to our top toddlers list, or our top fly fishing books list. We're very honored to have you on the list, and hopefully it'll get you a lot of sales and get you some marketing in. And then what you do is ask them if they would like to show them the list, give them the link, ask them if they would like to edit anything on the summary, or if they would like to maybe even give a different image for the book, or if they have a different book maybe that they would like you to promote instead of the one that you selected. That's fine too. Ask them that, because that's just going to get them liking what you're doing for them a lot better. All right, so far, all you've done was you added them to a list, you read their book, you gave them a review, and things are good right now. And then you contacted them, and wow, this is so important. I have it on here twice. Let's get rid of this. All right, and okay, so now at that point, you reach out and you tell them, hey, you made our list. You might want to reach out to your social media followers and have them vote on your book, and let them know that there's a vote taking place. And if they can get some people over there, their people over to come vote on the book, you may get them, a little competitive edge in them wanting to have their book voted #1. And they go to Twitter and they tell their followers, hey, I just made this top list. How about going there and voting for my book? And so that's kind of a cool way to handle it. And then tell them that, hey, if you link to our page and if you send your followers over to our page, what we're going to do is include you on a roundup page. We're going to include your book again on a roundup page that we're going to pay to have placed on an authority site in your industry. So it could be, if you're in the fly fishing industry, it could be on a fly fishing site. You're going to put the roundup. If you're into dog grooming, you're going to put it on a major pet site. So the idea is now you just took it one step further, and you're going to ask them to link to it and to share it with their followers. And if they do, you're going to add them to a roundup article. And like I covered in the awards list, you can get featured articles on authority sites for as low as $200 to $400. Now, if you're going to get a dozen links or more from authors in your industry, is that worth $400 to you? It is to me, all day long. So this little extra nugget is from Derek too, because that's like the extra enticement to get the link. You've already done everything what everybody else does, but now you go one step further and give them a carrot to link to it. And you're basing it on their vanity, you're basing it on their need to market the book, you're basing it on their need to get reviews. What you're doing is you're helping them market the book that they spent so long working on. And if you can acknowledge that and help them do that, this type of campaign is going to be huge for you. So work real hard to find these authors and help them out, and you're going to be in a really good position to earn a link to your new Listly award page that you created. And of course, like the awards list links, you can rinse and repeat this again and again. If you're in dog grooming, you could do one on flea removal, the best organic flea removal books or whatever, the best organic cookbook for dogs, and then one for cats, the best dog training books on how to litter train or paper train your new puppy. You could have just a myriad of different niches that you build these lists for. And once you get the flow of it going, you could get a lot of links from it. And it's not going to cost you that much money to create the awards page. You're just finding the books on Amazon, right? And you're writing just like a summary, and you're using the description that's Amazon's. It's on the Amazon account. So there's really nothing hard about this tactic, other than spending the time and looking for the authors and culling your list, making sure that you're going after authors who need the marketing help and who really will take you up on your offer to help them. So that's how we run Listly award links. And I would show you some of the Listly sites that we've set up, but I can't because some of them are for clients, and I just can't do that. But I showed you how to create them. I showed you how to market them. I showed you how to use additional leverage and how to get links with them. So that's Listly award links. Thanks.